Hey guys, today we are going to solve this problem. So its rating is 1800. As always, we are going to explain this problem by introduce the example here. So we are going to have a array of three numbers, right? 10, 20, and 10. And we are going to have six queries. So each query has two parameters. The first one is how many numbers are we going to choose from the original array, right? In this case, we are going to choose one number from the array. And we are going to choose the greatest number from the array, right? In this case, we are going to choose 20, right? And the second number is at the position of the number we are going to output. So in this case, the position is 1, so we are going to output 20 here, right? And let's take another query. So this one, we're going to choose two numbers from the original array so that we are going to choose 20 and 10, right? The greatest two numbers are 20 and 10. And then we are going to um, choose the lexicographically minimal array from the original array. So if we choose 10 and 20 from the original frame, we are going to have two choices. The first one is we choose these two numbers, right? Which we are going to get 10 and 20. And the other choice that we can get these two numbers, which is 20 and 10. And we are going to choose the lexicographically smaller one, which is this one, right? Because 10 is smaller than 20. So we are going to choose this one. And in the end, we are going to output the number at the first position, which is 10 here. So we output 10 here, right? So for this query, we are going to output the second number, which is 20 here. So we output 20, right? So I guess that's the meaning of this problem. So how do we solve it? So for this problem, the first step is to uh, find out what is the greatest number we are going to choose, right? So for each query, we are going to choose some numbers, and these numbers are the greatest numbers in the array. So first instinction is that we are going to sort this array, right? So we are going to mark each numbers with its index, right? 1, 2, 3, and we are going to sort this array according to its value, and uh, we are going to put the greatest one in the first, right? So it's 20 and 2. 2 is its index, right? And 10 and 1. Um, and 10 and 3, right? Why do we put 10, 1 in front of 10 and 3? Because when we choose some value, some pairs from this array, we are going to choose smaller ones, right? In this case, if we choose one number, we are going to choose 20. If we are going to choose two numbers, we are going to choose these two, right? Why don't we choose this one and this one? That is because we want the combination uh, lexicographically smallest. So and this value is for sure smaller than this value. So in this case, we are going to uh, make this index as small as possible so that it has a potential to be in front of this index so that the whole um, combination is lexicographically smaller, right? In this case, if we choose this one, its index is going to be 1. So this guy is going to be put in front of this guy so that this combinations is lexicographically smaller, right? So we are going to sort the pairs uh, according to its first and second value. So for the first value, we want it as big as possible, and for the second value, we want it as small as possible, right? So that is the first step to choose all of the numbers. And the second step is to find um, the number at the specific location, right? How do we achieve that? We can just use a uh, data set in C++, and put we can just insert this index we already chosen into the dataset, and then we are going to retrieve the piece index, right? Let's say if this value we call it p, then we are going to choose the piece value from this data set, right? And that is the value of that specific value is the output here. So before we go to the source code, I want to specify one more thing. That is, we want to sort the queries here first. We are going to sort it according to its first value, so that uh, we can insert the index into the data set one by one, and we can uh, for example, actually these queries are already sorted, so we can first insert this pair, right? So insert this number into the data set, that is 2, right? And we can move on. So now we um, have to choose 2 pairs. So we choose these 2 and insert 1 into the data set. And then we are going to output the first um, number in the data set, uh, that is index 1, which is 10 here, right? Which is 10 here, right? And we are going to also output the second value. So the second value in the dataset is 2. So we are going to output the value of index 2, which is 20 here, right? And then we are going to insert one more index into the dataset, which is 3, right? So we are going to first output the value at index 1, which is 10, and then output the value of index 2, right? And output the value of index 3, which is 10, right? So let's take a look at the code here. So first, we are going to uh, create all those pairs. I use minus x here because we can want to sort it in decreasing order, right? So we make it minus x, and uh, the B array here is where I store all the values. Um, and we are going to sort A, right? Sort array A. And then we are going to read all those queries and sort those queries according to its the number of numbers we are going to choose, right? And then we are going to iterate through those queries, and we make sure we choose enough numbers for the query, and then we are going to find the index of on that specific location, and we are going to save all those queries answer in this array, and eventually we are going to output it. So I guess that's it for this problem. Hope that helps. So see you next time.